Hello and welcome to Stories, the True and the Fiction. The podcast that revolves around one central theme, stories, and the people that tell them. We'll talk about movies, TV shows, video games, historical events, and weird news headlines. There's really no topic we won't touch. But it doesn't stop there. If you've got a story, something funny or random that may have happened to you or a friend, send it to thetrueandthefictional@gmail.com. Until then, it's story time.
From J.A. Bryden, creator of the Emu Wars, and Rebecca Cassells of the Rising Dawn series, available now on Amazon, comes a new adventure for the modern age. The Republic of Democracia, a world of magic and wonder, where all people and races live together in harmony, is invaded by the evil Western Empire of capitalism. The mages of Democracia are no match for the power of technology, and soon all but the capital remains. It is up to Princess Jannar of House Ortegiar to lead the final stand against the monstrous power of the Techno Knight himself, Sir Henry Cavalier. But upon attacking the peaceful hamlet by the lake, Henry Cavalier discovers the town's ruling family crest matches the mysterious birthmark on his chest. As we discover that Henry Cavalier is the last Dragon Lord destined to save the world. Along the journey, Jannar and Henry are joined by Captain Cat Graham, the loyal first officer and secretary to Henry, a childhood best friend, and 5 other interchangeable characters that you do not care about at all, because only the big 3 matter. Follow along as Henry must decide, who does his heart belong to? The rich, elite, upper class, perfect male fantasy of Jannar, or the ultimate girl next door fantasy of Cat, who when they were children, they shared sandwiches together all the time in their rainy orphanage. Something that both Jamie and Rebecca Castle will remind you often about, as it is key to the eventual overarching plot, leading to the thrilling conclusion that the war itself was a conflict created by their real enemy, the Western Catholic Church. Guilty Gears of Fantasy, DX9 Ultra Blue, the Trial Arms Gears Saga story, coming soon. Welcome everyone to Stories, True and the Fictional. I am one of your hosts. My name is Chris Buck. I am, of course, joined by author, creator, inventor, a man who believes that when a character is in a battle, if he doesn't think he could win, he should fold his arms, give up, and not try anything. J.A. Bryden, how are you going, sir?
That was very elaborate. Yes, I'm going good. I'm going good.
So you're a writer, but you don't believe that a character should try, even though all odds are against him. Is that this is my sense?
I believe it. I believe I take what do you call it? I lean more to the Ryan Johnson angle of subverting expectations.
Of course, yeah, no, absolutely, and his influence on your style absolutely comes through in your character work in D&D and other elements. Absolutely, it's a master to see what's important, to see what people want, and then to do the opposite of. Again,
100%.
A complete amazing skill.
Yeah.
I am, of course, joined by the author of Why the Catholic Church is Evil in All Japanese Fantasies. R.D. Haig, how are you going, sir?
I'm good. Thanks for plugging my book. It's almost it's a number 1 on the Vatican's New York Times bestseller list at the moment. I'd like to thank all my fans. I'd like to thank Satan for helping me get it all the way up the top. And I've only had to sell 10% of my soul to get it there. So very happy with that result.
That is an absolute bargain.
Well, look, to quote the Lord of Darkness himself, if I sold him any more of my soul, I'd end up running things down there. So he just wanted to keep it safe. But yeah, I'm doing great. Just a regular afternoon chatting with you fine gentlemen and listening to America starring Henry Cavill, Jenny Ortega, and Kat Graham.
Yeah.
And I'm very much interested in Jamie in the thought process behind this up and coming story that you and Rebecca Cassells are creating. Obviously, very inspired by Japanese RPGs, but clearly.
Apparently,
Yeah, definitely.
But it just made me think of the end of that classic timeless film called Kung Pao, where we got a trailer to the second movie that never happened. So I'm wondering, if that's the same kind of thing, or are you trying to entice us?
Well, you as a creator, and obviously, speaking to yourself and Rebecca on this particular project as you're working on, you guys really mentioned that you feel that a love triangle works better in most books, and then it was my suggestion to say, hey, look, Jenna Ortega I think would be a fine addition to category and Henry Cavill love triangle, potentially even a love quartet. I don't know if we throw another one in there, but I do believe that fantasy is new to Rebecca, so obviously we're very much interested, although not so much fantasy, but this particular sort of era fantasy. We're very much interested in this particular book. When can the listeners expect to have this book in their hands?
Well, it's to be decided, but going back to the overall plot and the love triangle thing, we've decided that we really want to cement that love triangle with one of the finest arcs you can do in any book, film, or TV series, a prison arc.
Oh, yes, of course, a prison arc.
And of course, one of them will be the jailer, so there'll be that Stockholm syndrome possibility,
And how are the negotiations going, Jamie, with yourself and Rebecca on whether or not Jenny Ortega and Henry Cavill will be in fact stepbrother and sister?
Well, no, that comes down to creative license, I think.
Okay.
But the what do you call it? It's if we get a producer involved, they'll have final say because that's how movies work apparently.
Right.
Pretty sure books might be the same. You should change this. You should change that.
But I think from my understanding, when I was having the conversation with you both, you guys were sort of aiming for like a hard PG-13 in America, which then means that probably the incest subplot will have to disappear.
But,
no, or just become more implied.
No, it just means we won't be it won't be PG-13. It'll be like MAR, but then we just won't be able to release it in China, the Middle East, or
that's fine then. Yeah, exactly.
That's really fun. So, look, that's their loss, in my opinion. I say bring on the implied incest.
And look, having played many JRPG in my time, those stories all sound extremely familiar, shockingly. But having said that, I still play a bazillion JRPGs, even though the plot is familiar. It's the same reason why I go to a steak restaurant. I know I'm getting steak. I know what the steak is going to be, but I enjoy it. So
look. Sometimes, Chris, the similarities simply end with. The differences simply end with the hair color of the protagonist. They could be blue, could be red,
could be red. That's right.
But the same premise. And Jamie, how soon into this JPRG fantasy does Henry Cavill save a cat? And then how soon into it do you in fact fight God and the Catholic Church?
That's a key thing.
Well, it's funny you should mention that. It's basically she doesn't appear till the very last page, where she kind of removes a robe, kind of turns around and removes a robe.
So you're saying God is a female?
Interesting. That is God is a female. Interesting plot twist. I like it.
That's the cat. I was talking about cat.
Oh, the cat. Okay.
I'm the long play.
Oh, so basically,
so you're doing the reverse. So the movie is going to open up with the fight against the Catholic Church and God and end with rescuing the cat.
No, it's
like Super Mario style.
No, it's like when they decided to do 3 movie Hobbit series. You got to string it out as much as you possibly can.
Well, you see, normally with a JRPG and their writers, it's not about straining them out. It's actually like squishing them back into something real. This is going, hey, you've got 120 hours of storyline. Can we just cut that down a little bit?
And
Yeah, well, no. So we're staying true to the source material.
okay.
True
No,
to the style.
Hey, perfect.
So you won't have any implied incest for at least 3 years, 4 years.
Look, again, slow burn. That's one way to go with it, and I'm not saying it's the wrong way. And in many circumstances, people like a good slow burn.
So, Jamie, while we're still on the subject, I have from a listener, Jim Jones from the Fantasy Times, wants to know if it's unsuccessful in the cinema, will it possibly be turned into a Naruto-style anime lab 567 episode first season?
Yeah, but I'll also be the only studio, shall we say, that seems interested is HBO. So they may change everything I do.
Well, at HBO, then it's gonna be like a 9-episode, like, you know, very gritty drama,
and then they're gonna throw in a few you know, filler episodes as well. You know.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you're going for the HBO model, then that's I mean, to be honest with you, that's about 547 episodes shorter than what we're expecting. So,
exactly, absolutely.
I'd like to see how you guys plan on telling that story in 9 simple episodes. But thank you, Jim, from the Fantasy Times, for your question.
But you know what? Speaking on that whole concept, that's very much like, you know, it was bad enough when Netflix tried to take Cowboy Bebop from 24 episodes into 10. They're going to do a One-Piece series based on season 1. So I'm going, you're going to take 80 episodes into 9? How the hell are you going to do that? That's even harder than 24 into 10.
Magic.
But hey, what do I know about it? What do I know about this?
It's all about the filler, mate. All about the filler.
All about the filler. Now, there's nothing wrong with good filler.
If you've got, you know, 24, like
25 episodes in the season.
I'm up to the very, very end of season 8 of Stargate, and I totally forgot that Homer Simpson's in it.
Oh, Dan Castanella.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He plays a barber who found
I love that episode.
A space. It's like a stone or something. He got a stone at a garage sale, and it connects him to Jack O'Neill.
Okay. And he gets all his memories, and then tries to write a book about
while it's happening. So it takes you back, and he's a really bad storyteller, and he's cutting people's hair and telling them stories, and they go, "That's terrible." And then he's suddenly times lined with all of Stargate, and he's telling them all about the gold and and the space battles that are going on above Antarctica and all that. It's very funny. It's a very funny episode. But the actor that plays the I think called Citizen Joe, I think that's what they call him. Yeah. Is the voice of like the guy who voices Homer Simpson.
Really?
Well, there you go.
Like, honest to God, I can't even imagine Homer Simpson as a human, so I never really thought of that guy.
He honestly, he looks like a skinnier version of Homer Simpson. If you Google Dan Castanella, he's got the receding hairline, but he's got the hair around the side, and he does pretty much. But
he doesn't sound like Homer.
No,
not in the way that Lisa Simpson, the actress, that's her normal voice.
Well, or like Seth MacFarlane, he's got Brian's voice, or like Brian is his normal voice all the time.
Normal voice. But then also like Mark Hamill, where like he now actually sounds like the Joker, like because of his age. Yeah. Before he had to put on that like croaky voice, but now that's just what he sounds like. So he actually he has to actually like work hard to put on the Luke Skywalker voice to remove that croakiness from his. Actually, I saw an interview on that where he actually said like, when he has to do Luke's voice, he has to actually like remove the age from his voice, and it's actually a little bit harder to do than the Joker because like the Joker's like still like because of his age, he can do the Joker quite easily now. I'm like going.
Well, you got to think about it. You got to think about it. He did the Joker for what, like I think 5 or 6 seasons, plus every Batman video game that came out in the last 10 years, plus like a few different. You know, he did it in the Killing Joke, which was released a couple of years ago as well. So he's obviously had. Even though he is Luke Skywalker, he's only done that for what? 1 to like say 4 movies, 5 movies.
Yeah. But you know, now with the technology, and as you saw in that weird Mandalorian season that had some Boba Fett filler episodes in it, which I'm not sure why. You know, honest to God, that was the best Luke Skywalker in terms of looks that like the technology like vastly improved from Mandalorian season 2 to that season, to the point where like look, it's not quite there where you could do a series with Luke Skywalker, because how like the interaction with actually real actors might be a little bit difficult. but it's getting it's pretty down. It's pretty good. Like it's pretty good.
But yeah, I think everyone wants Sebastian Stan. You know.
I mean, yeah, look, I saw those photos that came out. He's obviously the closest we're going to get to a lookalike for a very young Mark Hamill.
Yeah, but I mean, if you have Sebastian Stan, you could then just potentially use a little bit of CGI to change a few things in post, and you probably will get that's probably the best way to do it. I think.
So, like they did with Rogue One, and that old actor that was in the original.
Yeah.
They super. I forget the actor's name.
Myra someone or other. Yeah, I just can't remember her exact name, but yeah, she was in the. Yeah,
no,
I remember.
I was talking about the old dude,
Tarkin
in Rogue One.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Yeah, they
Grand Moff Tarkin.
Yeah, like they got an actor that looked like him and then CGI'd
the
face kind of to more of a resemblance.
Yeah. Look, that works. You know, I think the clear message though is we want a Luke Skywalker's TV series. Come on, like what the fuck? Like,
but you want to give it a bit of time. You don't want to do the like. I honestly haven't watched Andor. I haven't even watched the new Mandalorian yet because. Or Bad Batch because I feel like I'm all Star Wars out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The oversaturation of the market. Now, being that it is Luke Skywalker, so it is a different story. But
that's a different category.
I saw no real reason to run and watch Mandalorian immediately.
What?
I'm gonna no. Look, hear me out. Like I'm gonna wait and I'm gonna watch it all in one hit because I'm Star Wars out at the moment.
Interesting.
I am Star Wars out at the moment because. When obviously the Mandalorian is, and it's going to be it's a great show. I'm not saying it's bad, but we had Mandalorian, we had Boba Fett, I watched the first season of Bad Batch, then I watched Tales from the Jedi, which was a great animated series, and then, but it was just one after the other. There was it's the same reason I don't rush for the Marvel shows anymore. You know what I mean? I haven't even seen Ant-Man.
You don't rush for the Marvel shows because they're shit. Like that's a whole separate other conversation. So look, Andor was terrible. Obi-Wan was a show that existed. So but yeah. So look, two very bad shows. Again, Mandalorian season 3 had some weird Boba Fett fillers. That's one thing. That's a bit weird. I think it's different to the Marvel ones because the Marvel ones just sucked complete and utter balls. And the
only one that I really enjoyed was Loki was good. And I'm glad I watched it because obviously it's. But again, I haven't even rushed out to see Ant-Man yet.
I was just going to say I have not seen Ant-Man.
No,
I have no. But I've also got this is weird. I have actually no real desire to go see Ant-Man.
I'll watch it when it comes out on streaming or the high seas.
Yeah, I was going to say when it's available via the Iron Price, I will absolutely watch it.
But I mean, the thing is, at the moment as well, we've got, for me personally, it's the Endgame curse. There's too many good movies out that I haven't seen. Like I want to see Cocaine Bear. I want to see 65. I want to see Scream 6, which just came out, and then we've got.
John Wick 4.
We've got Shazam, John Wick 4. Like, there's just too many movies in such a short period of time.
Yeah.
That I don't I'm not, as we know, working full time and stuff. We can't just go and watch one movie a week sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's hard to do. So while I will definitely check Ant-Man out when it comes out on streaming, or if I get a spare second or a free ticket or something, there's just too many other movies I want to see that are different.
Yeah.
From another Marvel movie. You know what I mean?
The reason why I want to see Ant-Man is because I saw the images of what Murdoch looks like, and I'm going, who was in charge of CGI in that fucking did they do that and then go, that looks shit. All right, print it. Let's go. Let's.
No, I look. Murdoch looked awesome when he had the mask on. It looked fantastic, but. Yeah, I just, I don't know.
He took the mask off me, and he looks like I have no idea what the fuck they were going for.
But no, look, it's not a must. It's not a must see for me at the moment.
No.
It's a must see eventually, but it's not a must see right now.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I'm really keen to see 65.
Yeah. I think it's an interesting premise.
It's interesting. It's done by the guys who did A Quiet Place.
Mm-hmm.
And that was unique.
Did you ever see Quiet Place 2? I never did.
Yeah, I did. It was pretty rushed. It felt very rushed though.
It's a short film.
Yeah, it really is.
I think it was like an hour and a half or something.
Well, it felt like because I watched it when it came out on the high seas, and it felt like I was watching it for about half an hour, and it was finished, and it just kind of felt a bit rushed. Like the way they moved the plot forward was actually really quick. Like I felt like I didn't have the time to take it all in. It definitely wasn't as good as the first one.
Oh no,
but
nothing
will
like that.
It was an enjoyable flick. Like it was an enjoyable movie.
Look,
I'd watch it again.
I'm glad I didn't see it because I love the first one. And it's also the same reason why I've seen the Joker movie once.
Yeah.
And that was at the cinema. And I will not watch it again because I want that memory to be exactly as I remember when I saw it. And which is weird to say, but I'm happy with my decision on that because it wasn't that was I don't want that experience, but. So I'm glad I didn't see Quiet Place 2 because I thought that the first one, they did it perfectly. I was like, why would you, again?
Yeah.
This is The Last of Us 2 all over again. Why, if you nailed it once,
would
you do it?
It's a little different because A Quiet Place, while it's not as good as the first one, it's still good. Last of Us.
we've got that. I think it's a prequel movie coming out at the moment that they're filming. John Krasinski.
Yeah, they're doing a third one.
But it's a prequel. It's day one. It's called A Quiet Place Day One. So
okay, no, look,
the first time.
That might be interesting. I can see like them figuring out. Oh yeah, if we're silent, but my one
can't be.
my one problem with Quiet Place, and look, it's very minor.
Okay.
They find out if they live near water, if they're near a waterfall, you can shout and scream. Why are they not building entire civilizations then near waterfalls? Again, this is just a very minor like.
Well, here's a question: how do you know they're not?
True. I mean, these people are. I think it's set in Boston, aren't they? This one.
Yeah.
I mean,
but you'd also have to
aren't the smartest people in the world, so maybe that they didn't figure that out.
But you also have to travel to a place where you can build. Like, I'm sure that there could be civilization at Niagara Falls, but.
Yeah, I mean, that's right. Niagara Falls would be the perfect place to rebuild humanity.
And a lot of people could have died while trying to find waterfalls.
Sure. Yeah, but
maybe they were listening to that song that says "Don't go chasing waterfalls."
But he knows that waterfalls are fine. Why hasn't he moved his family to the waterfall?
Probably because he has a family to move a pregnant wife.
No. Like even before, like the fact that they've got pregnancy, the fact they've got a system of pregnancy all set up, which means he's probably had another kid before this.
Yeah.
And he knows about the waterfall, and yet he decided, I won't move my family to a perfectly safe waterfall. I'll still live in this dangerous house. Again,
well, Chris, I mean, you've got a child. You can understand what a pregnant wife is. You'd get halfway down the road and she'd be like, "I forgot to get the pickles," and everyone would die. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe John Krasinski is the smartest man in the world. He did not move his pregnant wife because he knew she would start complaining as soon as they left. And being a man, as we so do, he would have forgotten some sort of snack that she's craving that he never knew about.
Yep.
So
and listeners, the views of Ryan L. Johnson Haig do not represent the group as a whole. We love women, particularly pregnant women.
We love pregnant women.
We support and cherish you all. Anyway, now that we've got the disclaimer out of the way,
because Ryan's gay, he can get away with saying that.
That is. But, fair point. I you're right.
It's just it's why I think 100% think the reason Barney from How I Met Your Mother, Neil Patrick, that would have been super. Yeah, that would have been super comfortable for all those actresses he worked with.
Yeah, exactly.
I believe that.
Yep. Like, I mean, that's the great. That's one of his greatest roles. Actually, no, I think his greatest role was Starship Troopers. But again, that's.
Oh no, but I think that's the movie, Chris. You're thinking of.
No. Even his role in the movie, I think, is a fantastic role. Although his role in Harold and Kumar Went to White Castle, I think, is also is just clearly fantastic.
Who was he in that?
He was himself.
Oh, okay. Because I think I watched that before I knew who he was.
But he's an absolute like horn dog, and like does like it takes him to a brothel and stuff, and then like gets shot and then killed, and then he gets brought back, and then like they portray him as Neil Patrick Harris playing himself as this absolute like womanizing horn dog, and then they play the second one, but then they do it in the third one but because in the third one he's still like he like there's a scene where he's like gay doing this thing, and he's like doing this like a play, and they go, "Oh, you're amazing," and he gets the stage, and then switches back into his like straight persona, and then meets his quote unquote husband. They're not really husband; they're just married. They just pretend to be married for the chicks. And I was laughing, going, "Oh, that's funny."
So Barney.
That's Hollywood.
I was like, "Oh man, that's well done." But having said that, I love Neil Patrick Harris in most things he does.
Yeah.
Who do you think he'd play? I know that you're Star Wars out, but if you were to cast him in Star Wars, what kind of character do you think he'd play?
Jar Jar Binks. No.
I don't know.
No, well, he'd definitely be on the rebel side.
Nah, definitely villain.
You reckon?
Yeah. Because you'd go with that villain that seems nice and that's all nice and polite, but then also like it's is a strangled cats kind of guy. Like this is the kind of. I'm just thinking out loud.
Now, look, I've only got one perfect in my eyes Star Wars casting, and that's Mark Strong in his Sinestro gear as General Thrawn.
Oh. Yes.
Like a young Mark Strong. Because when I watch Green Lantern, Ryan Reynolds, we said discuss the only good thing is Mark Strong at Sinestro.
Yep.
I see him, just give him a coat of blue paint.
That's right. Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Yeah.
But what made Grand Admiral Thrawn so good? Well, when they did him in Rebels, it was I think it was like they did that Scandinavian actor did the voice, and it's just this eerie, like weirdly like slightly Scandinavian accent that makes him sound even more terrifying when he says things, because the Swedes are all scary and terrifying. So it was the perfect voice for it. I was going, so I'm sure Mark Strong could do the accents. I think he's a man of many accents.
But that's the only real other casting, because I'm not, like, I love Star Wars, but I'm not as deep in the lore as you guys or as you, Chris. So that's really the only uncast character in like the current universe series that I would even be game enough to cast.
Nicholson does the voice of
okay.
The Danish actor does the voice of Admiral Thrawn, and it is creepy as hell because he's got that Danish like twinge to it. It's like perfectly evil. Like all the Danes. Anyway, wait, do we have any Denmark people from listeners, Jamie? No? Downloads from Denmark?
I don't think so. You know what? We're going to do a
the
live
Danes
check
are
right
sneaky.
now.
They are a sneaky, deceptive bunch.
And if they're listening, they are definitely not. They're lovely people.
Lovely people.
And we love our Danish.
But to all the other Scandinavian listeners, aren't the Danes sneaky?
Well, I mean, the Danes are just the Germans of that area, aren't they, really? They're
sneaky.
They're just the Nazis. Yeah, sneaky Mongolians.
Sneaky Danes.
Okay.
I'm just trying to think if there's another race I can offend before we move on to what we're talking about today.
This is just from the last month. Our highest downloads are from Bangladesh.
The Bangladeshis are on board.
Yeah.
That seems odd.
Oh. Then it's Australia.
Yeah. Are you sure it's not? Oh, no, I better not say that.
Then it's United States. Then it's Germany. Singapore.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
I'm sorry, guys. We don't have any chewing gum, do we?
No, we will not spit it on the ground, though. Having said that, been to Singapore a few times. Lovely city.
UK. We know who's listening from the UK.
Mrs. Rebecca Cassells.
Our sponsor and Lord Patron for the net.
And our sponsor and Emperor. Rebecca Cassells.
And final. From the land of Mikey babies.
Oh, hello, our Filipino listener. Listener.
I enjoy Sinigang like the rest of us do. But then back onto the sneaky Danes then, clearly.
I'm gonna double check. Okay, all time download.
We need a drum roll.
Oh,
Jimmy,
wow.
Jimmy, add a drum roll sound.
At the very bottom we have Vanuatu. Oh man. Messi's listening. Argentina.
Yay!
A lot of Messi, excellent.
Lionel Messi.
Austria, China, Denmark.
There we go.
In the entire time we've done it, they've only downloaded one. one
fine.
thing
Again,
downloaded from.
I told you the Danes were sneaky.
Yeah, you know why? You know why?
Just
Because only
confirmed.
downloaded one. They're that sneaky that they put a VPN on so they can mask their location. It's somewhere else.
Yeah,
To
Bangladesh.
download it. That's why they're sneaky. Yeah.
Yeah. Estonia. We have a download from Estonia.
Oh, nice. Well.
Egypt.
Oh, okay. Yep, the
Spain.
Pharaohs are listening.
Yep.
Spain. Greece.
The Spaniards, the Filipinos are listening.
Lithuania.
Oh, Lithuania. Okay. All right. Cool. European.
Morocco.
Morocco.
Montenegro.
Montenegro. Yeah.
Montenegro.
But yeah.
I'm saying it
I
as
apologize
it's written.
for our listeners in Montenegro. I apologize for Jamie's mispronunciation of your country.
Well,
Jamie, just
they only downloaded once. So.
If you want to understand how to pronounce a country, well, just watch Miss Universe every year and watch how they pronounce the country. And then that's like the perfect example. Imagine the country being pronounced by a hot woman screaming it at your face. Denmark!
Brazil!
Oh,
Colombia!
Just watch Fire and Ice, a Eurovision story, and you'll get it. You'll be fine.
Yeah, again, I love Eurovision. It's awesome.
Oh, me too. I've watched that movie so many times.
We've got a listener, Volensky, is listening to us from the Ukraine.
You're welcome. How's the war going?
The war or the wall?
I'm trying to personalize it for all our listeners. You know?
But our 42% of all our downloads are from the US.
Welcome, America. We support you.
We support the president you like, regardless. Yeah,
whoever you like.
Whoever you like, we support that president.
Well, considering our number one downloads from the US are California,
then absolutely we absolutely support that president. Then,
but then ironically, Texas after that.
We also support that president as well.
We like guns and hate guns at the same time.
Exactly. But whatever, again, like I said last time, whatever you like, we like as well. So this is
and whatever you don't like, we don't like.
Absolutely. And you know, and if you know someone that listens that has a different opinion, don't listen to that guy. He's wrong. We like what you like.
Wow.
Speaking of opinions. Jamie, this week was a monumental week for you. It was an important week,
really,
because we finally got a glimpse of the future of the franchise. His first kiss was a man named Dave.
It was actually Philip.
Oh no, sorry.
Philip. Oh.
But what happened to Dave? Was that not?
No, well that's because Dave was actually a woman. You've got the name wrong.
No, you sure?
Davina.
Oh, Davina. Okay, Davina. Fair enough. But speaking of Davina and the future of the franchise, Jamie, this week we got a glimpse of the future of the Ninja Turtles, done by one of the all-time
favorite actor,
all-time leading actors and screenwriters, a man who clearly has his fingers on the pulse in terms of the pop culture, Seth Rogen. Now, Ryan, you've not seen the trailer, so I think I think it's now the time. Let's pause now and let's watch the trailer with you, Ryan.
Okay. I saw the announcements of everyone but the Turtles, but yeah. So I've got the YouTube page up now. I'm about to press play now. Hey, from Permanent Teenager Seth Rogen. A new generation of heroes will rise straight from the sewer. Okay, NYC. I don't mind the animation style, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Stay still. Stay still. Now. Oh. Let's try that again, but with ninja stars. Hey, why did we pick a fruit shaped exactly like my head? Just stop talking. You're ruining my concentration.
You're fine. Chill. He's gonna die.
Wow, they're really young.
Wait, did you hear that? What was that? Well, nothing we can do. You guys want to grab pizza? Can I kick it? Can I kick it? Can I kick it? What the heck are those things? They look like little Shreks to me.
Oh, we've prepared our whole lives for this.
Oh my God!
Oh my, I'm gonna be sick.
Leo, what happened? Is Donnie bleeding? It was an accident. Mikey, watch out!
So you were baby turtles.
Exactly. That's what my thoughts were.
Mystery
I love this was
It's like more like it's just nice.
riveting stuff, Jamie.
Yeah.
Riveting podcast.
It's nice, right?
Oh, well, the audio is going to be playing.
Okay, cool. Oh, good then.
Okay. Sure.
All right.
Wow.
Now that we have seen
and heard.
seen and heard this, was this amazing film. Ryan, as a non-Turtles fan, I'll get your opinion before I get my opinion, then I'll go to Jamie, the supposed expert. So Ryan, what are your thoughts?
Well, I like the animation.
Into
I
the
don't mind the
Spider-Verse style.
animation style.
Yeah.
And I love Into the Spider-Verse. You don't really get a lot from that trailer. Like, yeah, we get Bebop and Rocksteady, but they just seem really young, really young. Like Donatello, the voice of Donatello sounds like he's about 8. Why is Raphael missing a tooth? Look, this is my opinion. Why does Michelangelo sound like he's African American? Not that there's a problem with that, but I'm guessing the actor that plays him is African American.
I would imagine.
Okay.
So, I believe so. Yes.
April O'Neil looks nothing like April O'Neil, and that's got nothing to do with skin color. Like, it's completely. I'm assuming that was April that was talking to them at the end.
They cast it like so. Again, the fact that they didn't get Kat Graham back to play April O'Neil to me is a huge fucking like mistake. But that's again.
I'm not even. It doesn't even matter about the color. Like, what it looks nothing like the April O'Neil we grew up with. And is this just a studio pandering to? Oh, let's just make everything like everyone. We don't want to get cancelled, kind of thing.
No, the last series. The last series also had an African American April O'Neil played by Kat Graham, and I thought she did an absolute excellent job. And so the fact that the reprise her, I'll get her back, I think it was a bit of a letdown. But so Ryan, when you think of teenage, what age do you have in your mind when you think of teen?
Well, generally, the designation, I'd say 13 to 18, really.
Yeah. Now you see, this is why I think it's good. I want to get your opinion, Ryan, before I get to Jamie. We're so used to watching 30-year-olds play 15-year-olds in American TV dramas that we've probably lost what an actual teenager is, which is basically a 13-year-old prepubescent little shit. We see them all the time out in the world. These turtles feel like the right age in terms of, being a teenage. And so starting them this young gives them time to, that the actor can grow with the role, and I think that's a good thing. And I do enjoy.
I never thought of that. Yeah,
it's a different take because this is their first adventure. Yeah, the fact that one of them stabbed themselves with a weapon is also fucking hilarious because they got deadly ninja weapons. I would imagine they would be probably that's more realistic to say that that yes, they stabbed each other because they're okay. If you watch boys play and fight, that's not uncommon. Like that's just you give them a stick, they're gonna hurt each other. Like let alone a thigh. That's just reality.
But so was I mistaken? Did Splinter have a mullet?
It looked more like a perm to me.
I'm like that. What's up with that? Like
you don't like you don't like a Splinter that cares about his hair.
No, because he's a rat.
No.
Right. So they can eat pizza and do ninja stuff, but
yeah, that's fine.
Hair care. No.
Well,
it's not Splinter, and it's not a shop and the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
So you're saying to me that Splinter can't get a shampoo sponsorship? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying
exactly what I'm saying.
I'm saying he wouldn't. You know.
Yeah, he wouldn't.
Splinter,
He's a martial arts master. He's not going to go out getting Palmolive and L'Oreal sponsorship.
Hey,
I'm going to say
you don't know what people flush down their toilet. You don't know what people flush down their toilet. Maybe they use Pantene and went, "This is shit," and flush it all down the toilet, and then he's just rubbing it through his hair like, "Hey, yeah, that's
well."
Look,
my final opinion, as I've only recently in the last say 4 or 5 years come into the best iteration of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles I've ever seen, which is the IDW comics.
Yep.
I at the moment, based off that trailer, it's a hard no for me. I'm not going to go see it.
Interesting. But yeah, those comics did really pick up after that New York explosion.
The comics are amazing,
and the Wall of Mutants, and that's a really great.
The comics up until issue 100, and then obviously Last Ronin, and the one that Jamie let me read yesterday, the Lost Years, where the turtles are based off different actual species of turtles, which I think is quite good. Yeah, that's my go-to. I've read the IDW collections many times. They could that's the turtles that I'm like down with.
Yep. So thank you for sharing your view. Now let's go to the turtle expert.
Now I'll get the beeper ready, Jamie. So
I'll get the popcorn ready and go. Jamie, what are your thoughts on the Ninja Turtles? I think that's fantastic. Do you agree?
I think you're just saying you think it's fantastic to grind my gears. I'm not going to go out of my way to see it. I have so many problems with it.
Name one.
Well, name one. Okay,
yeah,
number one. This is the first time ever since I've started Turtles that they got the voices wrong.
How have they got the voices wrong?
They don't sound like. We've established what they sound like. We've established their personalities. This just seems like, hey,
their voices haven't dropped yet. How do you know what they sound like? How do you know what they're going to sound like? Their voices haven't dropped yet.
Ask the creators of every other film, TV series.
Yeah, but they've established 30-year-olds playing 15-year-olds. These are
actually not really. No, like some yes, some no. But again, it's a voice.
Even the Michael Bay like Turtles movies, at least they got the voices right.
They got the voices right.
Yeah.
Why does Donatello need glasses? Like, why did they bring back that trope?
They've had that in a few.
No, they've done it in the Michael Bay movies, and
we know why they did it in the Michael Bay movies, because you put glasses on to establish a nerd. They need to have glasses.
Yes. Michael Bay's theory is to establish a nerd. You put glasses on. That Victoria's Secret model put glasses on. Oh my god, what a nerd! Look at that nerd.
Exactly.
The
Michael Bay theory.
And on your point about April O'Neil not looking like April O'Neil.
Yeah, and that's got nothing to do with color.
No, because if we go back to the original comics, they've actually said it's highly likely that she was black.
Yeah,
but they said highly likely, but not like 100%, right?
It's just it's
because there's an image that she has a perm in it, but just because she has a perm doesn't make her African-American.
No, that's not why they said it. It's like where she's from, like the part of the city she lives in or something like that. That's what they said. But then you go from the comics to the cartoon, and you establish her. You've established this character that you build off every other iteration. Yes, there's the 2003 series where she isn't a reporter. She's an intern for Baxter Stockman, and she's like a scientist.
Yep.
That's the comics. Yeah,
that's comics. But yet she still looks like April O'Neil.
And she still has that she hand in sort of raising them just from a different era, like she raises them in the comics from like when before they turn, whereas in the other iterations it's kind of like that relationship as she grows with them in terms of once they've mutated she encounters them and then they sort of grow that bond with them.
Look, there have been two great iterations of April O'Neil in our lifetime: Cat Graham's portrayal with the animated series Ninja Turtles, and Megan Fox. So, I mean...
100% disagree. You really trying to grind my gears. I have no... I'm not opposed to Cat Graham playing April O'Neil, but I'd rather probably see her do it in a live action.
No, but we can all agree on that, obviously. If you've got Cat Graham, you show Cat Graham. We can all agree on this particular point. But her voice acting is also quite good. So that's also that's
100%. But also, like I have huge issues with all the casting choices. Like some are great, some are. So all the turtles out for me. Don't like the casting choices. It's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, not Toddler Mutant Ninja Turtles, because that's what they sound like to me. Okay.
Again, that's what a teenager actually sounds like, though. So again, I know it's very hard.
They have always been mid to late teens.
Yeah, but this is the Origins film, so the teen.
Yes, but every Origin film, they're all established as teenagers. It's not prepubescent, But look, Paul Rudd's in it. He's great choice playing Mondo Gecko.
Yeah, exactly.
Fantastic. The guy is voicing Baxter Stockman. Perfect.
Yep, exactly.
What's his name? Giancarlo Esposito, who's
it's Gus Fring from Breaking Bad.
Yeah, and Mandalorian. Is he a Mandalorian?
Yeah.
He was he was Moff
Gideon. Now, if you need a villain, he is just like I like him sitting down reading the food menu sounds sinister. Like 1 quart of butter, 2 cups
all you need for him is
stir gently and then set to cool. This is the recipe. It's like
that scene of him dying in Breaking Bad where he literally has fastens his tie and goes, well, that was unexpected, and then it's like that's a perfect casting.
But my favorite of his things was when he's talking to Homelander and he's like going, we are a pharmaceutical company, and our greatest petulant man-child that you are is our compound V. I was like, that was just like, I was like,
No, look, he honestly is the perfect Baxter Stockman. Hands down. Haven't even heard him do the voice. Haven't even seen.
No, I don't know. Like, we know what voice he's going to do, which is going to be
100%,
and it's going to be amazing. That's
as much as I love Jackie Chan. No, for Splinter, just no. I love all his movies. I absolutely love his stunt work.
Do you think they just got Jackie Chan because they could get Jackie Chan?
100%
for a ninja movie. Like, do you think that's what they did?
You know how. Look, getting Jackie Chan means this is going to be a must watch for Chinese cinema because he's an active member. Because he was an active member of the political party of the people. He actually was a member of the Chinese people cultural thingy, whatever. Up until actually he recently left office in March. Actually, this year March, his term ran out.
Right.
But because of that, people are going to. It is now mandatory. Is your patriotic junior as a Chinese citizen now to go watch this film? It's very smart casting on that one.
Yeah, is that like how in the Michael Bay ones they just had a Chinese actor following everyone around?
No. That was Ninja Turtles 2. That was Ninja Turtles 2, where there was basically this like, and she was like, apparently she's like super famous in China, but she was just like standing next to like the like she said, I don't remember her saying a single word, but she was literally in every shot just standing there. I was like going like, what are you doing?
So no, look, I love Jackie Chan, but I don't think he's right for the role. And the other thing that grinds my gears is they have gender swapped Leatherhead. It wasn't in the trailer, but Rose Byrne is voicing Leatherhead.
Rose Byrne's great.
She's great, but Leatherhead isn't a female. If you want to, this is where they've missed.
Wait.
What? You don't remember Leatherhead?
He's Googling. He's Googling.
No, I'm Googling something. I'm getting images of female crocodiles versus male crocodiles. They look the same. How do you not know that? How would you not know that? Like, are they going to give the crocodile boobs? Like, how do you not like? They might look exactly the same. Sorry.
So is she going to do a man voice then?
No, she can just do a voice. But again, like, I don't think they're going to make it a feminine crocodile. Like seriously.
No, but they're still going to make her female.
Maybe if this is the 80s, you'd be like going, man, that crocodile is stacked. But this is not the 80s.
Well, if it was the 80s, then that means that's the era that they created Leatherhead, and Leatherhead would have been a female, and I have no problem with it. But Leatherhead is not a female. He is a male crocodile. Originally, he was like very, very Texan, so that was even funny. Hey, bought it. Then he became a scientist. No, but the thing that annoys me is you have all these great characters, like X-Men characters, strong female characters that they could have chosen instead of making.
No. Look, I will agree that there's a ton of the great characters they could have chosen. Yeah,
they've got a lot. Some of the newest ones, and Ryan will back me up with this. Alopex from the comics. She's like a fox.
But is it too soon to bring that character? Like plot-wise, is it too soon to bring her in?
She turns up in the first trade from memory in the comics, like the first.
And she's in the 2012 series.
Okay.
Yeah.
Her Koya, great, like Falcon. It was Shredder's pet Falcon or messenger Falcon turned mutated. And then you got other awesome characters like Angel, who's Casey Jones. I think she's Casey Jones's cousin, or at least in one iteration. Strong female character, but they just feel the need to gender swap, and I don't like it. I don't like it when they take an established character and go, hey, you know that character you love? Let's change it for no reason. I think John Cena is good for Rocksteady.
Yeah, he was all through the trailer. I didn't see him at all, so which means he was in every scene in the trailer.
Seth Rogen can just leave but he's just I looked it up. He's actually only a producer, so he's not writing anything.
Oh,
he's just producing it.
He's a producer.
Yeah. So he'll probably say change this, change that, do this, do that.
He's not an executive producer, which means absolutely fucking nothing. That's just the title.
Yeah.
Like he's an actual line producer, an actual working one.
Yeah. And he's Bebop, which I don't think is a good choice.
He was Pumbaa. Perfect casting.
Was he?
Yeah.
Because that movie has just been washed from my mind because it was a comedy. I never thought I'd see a movie where Mufasa dies and I'd be laughing. Am I the villain? Because it looked so ridiculous.
Again, that's because lions have no emotion on their faces.
Yeah, but then you watch flipping Andy Serkis's Jungle Book. I think it was called Mowgli. And he gave the animals just enough emotion in their eyes.
You have to emote their faces, or you have to emote their faces.
But it wasn't overdone. It was enough to keep it realistic, but also you could see that this animal was angry or happy or distressed.
But we also know that people who work for animation Disney are very unhappy, and so they generally turn to I think they just turn it in like bad products on purpose now. I think that's a proven fact.
Yeah. But the one thing that I think they also missed the mark on is they should do Old Hop. If you're going to do like mutants.
But is it too first battle? Is it too soon to bring that villain in?
No, because he's in the first issue.
He's in the very first issue of the IDW.
And his origin kind of ties in with the Turtles. So
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like he gets infected with the same mutation and picks up Ralph in his mouth and walks away, and that's how he becomes the humanoid animal.
So, dude, I'm not a Turtles expert like you. Is the mutation thing like that Superman's the last Kryptonian, where it's like I'm the last Kryptonian except for that guy and that guy and that guy and my cousin and that bottled city, or is it so? Is that
no. So in the original, I believe I hope I'm remembering this right because there's been so many iterations. But the mutagen, I think in the original comic, it was I think it was almost fuel for the Utrons.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's like they crash land on Earth and their ooze went everywhere, kind of stuff, and it fell out the back of a truck that was either getting transported or stolen. And that flung out the back, hit Matt Murdock as a child in the eyes. then it fell down the sewer. That's actually true. Yeah. And it fell down the sewer and then mutated. But then they brought in, with the more recent iterations, they were lab experiments where they're using the mutagen. But
the reincarnation angle as well.
Yeah.
With the force with Owakosaki and Hamada Yoshi and stuff.
Speaking on that point, Jamie, what method do you think they'll do? That he was a rat who learned kung fu by watching his master, or a rat who learned being Asian from a book? Which version of
well,
I'm
Chris,
Korean, I can say that.
You're familiar with learning all these techniques and race traits from a book, because isn't that what happened in Star Wars?
Yep. Again, apparently you can learn being a Jedi from a book. Apparently, no, you don't need the whole concept of master and apprentice. And and much like martial arts, if you ask a bunch of YouTubers, you can learn martial arts by watching videos. If you then get into a real fight with them, no, you cannot, because if exact foot placement and things like that really do matter when you're doing fighting.
Yeah.
But if you watch the YouTubers who defend those kind of things, they say no, you can absolutely learn martial arts from watching a few YouTube videos. Going, oh my god, no, you cannot. having done martial arts and things before, yes, like your sensei actually goes like move your foot back a little bit, bend your knee here, because those really do matter when you're learning like fundamental fighting. So Jamie, which version do you think they're going to use?
Probably because they're stupid, they'll learn it from a book. I reckon. But
see, that's why I like the IDW comic thing, because it actually gave meaning to why they know what they know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like why they.
So what version did they use?
In the IDW?
Yeah.
Well, the turtles were mutated in a lab along with Splinter.
Yep.
But then in feudal Japan, the turtles, they were all boys, sons of.
So they were his sons.
They were his sons, Splinter's sons. They all die and get reincarnated into the turtles.
Yeah, that's what I really liked about it, because then you can get away with. That's how they know some form of martial arts, because
I like
essentially
that.
they're the soul. Because when Hamato Yoshi's wife gets killed by Rokisaki, he takes the boys and he starts training them, even though they're small. He starts training them in martial arts, and that's the way I like it, because that can kind of explain, hey, you didn't learn it from a book or watching Karate Kid on TV or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's what I like about that.
So the two versions that work is best is that one, and the one where it's as random and weird as it is, the 80s cartoon where Yoshi mutates into Splinter.
See, I like that one actually, because that one actually
that works too.
I'll accept that.
Yeah.
Because that makes sense, because like then he actually knows what the fuck he's doing, so he can then teach them correctly. Like
Now, if I was to do a series, now because I've thought about this a lot, we know I've thought about this a lot,
of course.
But if I was to do it, I would combine them by having Splinter mutated first, a long time before the turtles, and then Yoshi, Hamato Yoshi would train him as a rat, and then Splinter would train the turtles. So it'd be like a generational hand me down, like hand down the martial arts style. That's it. That's personally how I do it.
Good.
Interesting.
I'd almost do a whole Splinter movie.
Yeah. Okay. I can see that.
Bare minimum opening act.
Okay. I can see that working. Like no, I like mutating to become a rat makes sense. Them being reincarnated makes probably the most sense.
Yep.
But you believe that they'll probably go with either rat watch the master from a cage or learning ninja from a book.
They won't do the rat versus learning master from a cage, because they've done that before.
Right. So they'll watch or they'll basically just the rat saw some kung fu movies, and then obviously that's how he knows how to do it. Yeah.
Well, from what I can tell is they're modeling a lot of it off the 2012 series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because they're very young in that. They're kids. I think they're more mid-teens in that.
And what was that method?
I don't know if I watched enough of it to know how Splinter, because he kept saying that's a story for another time.
Okay.
It's like
so the writers didn't even know. They're doing the J.J. Abrams storytelling.
Yeah, pretty much. I can't remember how that. But I kind of lost interest when they swapped voice actors mid-series, and not like how when you can't get Mark Hamill, there's a guy who's almost not as good, but it's passable.
Yep.
Well, this is like, hey, Jason Biggs is Leonardo. Who are you going to replace? Oh, Seth Green. Like totally different voices that don't sound anything alike.
Yeah, but would you prefer that or them killing Leonardo and bringing in a new turtle? Would you
finishing the series?
Okay. So, based upon this 1.5 minute trailer, you're both saying it's an absolute no for both of you in terms of.
I have no interest at the moment.
No, and it's not just a trailer. I've looked at IMDb. I've read up on it on who's writing it, and as much information as possibly can. I know there's diehard people out there. I've seen comments out there who they're just like, I don't care. It is the Ninja Turtles. It is good, no matter what. Which is probably in the same
I've dealt with those Star Wars fans as well.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm
like
familiar with the part of the fandom that likes everything, regardless if it's good or not.
Yeah. Yes, the Last Jedi defenders. They're very passionate because they tracked us down when we made a joke about it.
I mean, if I'm, oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
I don't think they're passionate anymore because I think they were passionate until Rise of Skywalker came out, and then obviously JJ tried to basically delete everything that Johnson did, and people went, "Oh, maybe people realized it was shit."
No, this was about a year ago. I think it was about a year ago, and they took a sound bite from our podcast and made a video, and they're going, "Look at these guys."
That's how you know. That's how you know you're famous, when the haters start getting on board.
Absolutely.
And then I tried to engage him on YouTube, and he just completely ignored everything I said. I invited him onto the podcast to come and discuss, and then we were going to invite you on as well at the time. And then me and Jamie were literally just going to have popcorn.
I would have.
But yeah, he declined. I said, "Come on the show, man. Let's come and have a talk. Come and have a chat." And he just ignored me completely. And then I think he ended up blocking me. And I wasn't even harassing him. I wasn't even saying, "Oh, you're wrong. You're wrong." I was like, "Come and have a chat."
That because the
that's what I wanted. I wanted a
Chris
Park versus this guy.
Pound of flesh from his much like that Matthew McConaughey movie. I would have locked him in a freezer and said, "I demand a pound of flesh." Don't care where it came from. Just
the Gentleman. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's like I can forgive a lot of things, but you laid your hands on my wife.
Yeah.
I was like, yes.
But yeah, look, I honestly,
that's what this Ninja Turtle movie needs. Matthew McConaughey.
Man, so I'm not going to see see this.
All right. Well, because we're talking about McConaughey, this movie. This movie gets canned like Batgirl. They start making it and they go, "Oh, it's not going to be that good. Let's can it," because James Gunn takes over the TMNT franchise. I'm okay with that. Let's just say, I can juggle DC and the Turtles. Okay. Who's McConaughey in the Ninja Turtles?
Yeah, Shredder for sure.
No,
I'm joking.
They tried that with the Michael Bay ones, and then
he's clearly a Splinter.
I reckon.
You want to hear like, Michelangelo swinging his nunchucks around, and he's like, "Hey, Sensei, how's my form?" Oh, right.
Yeah. I think he's too old.
I want him to be Splinter because I want him to be like, "Do I do an accent?" It's like, no, just be you, be yourself.
The BBC days, or the early 2000s of the Musketeers.
Yep. Yeah. Hey,
pick an accent.
Don't worry about accents and learning. No. You Matthew McConaughey, be yourself.
You know what I cast him as?
Who?
Old Hob.
Oh,
perfect voice.
Yeah,
southern drawl, and
even though he's from New York, but
no. But turning him into like a southern gentleman kind of gangster rat.
Well, I reckon he looks like that.
Yeah, yep. So you're saying Matthew McConaughey looks like a rat? Okay,
no, it's a cat. Old Hob's a cat.
Is he? I thought it was a rat.
No,
he's a cat.
He looks like a rat. But okay. But
how does Old Hob look like a rat?
Yeah, let me Google that now because hang on.
He's a cat with an eye patch.
Hob.
Yeah.
Nintendo pictures. Actually, no, you're right. He is a cat. I don't know why I was thinking of a rat for some reason.
No, Chris, just don't go with the guys who've read the comics about 470 times. Just go with your intuition.
Yeah, one of my favorite characters.
I assumed he was a rat for some reason because of my internal racism. Because Splinter's a rat, so he must be a rat. Again, internal racism. Matthew McConaughey with an eye patch. Yeah, no, you know what? Jamie, fucking spot on. Hey,
100%.
Yeah.
Don't just put some cat ears on Matthew McConaughey's hair. Put an eye patch on. That's it. That you're done.
No CGI.
No CGI.
Just an eye patch on. No.
Yep. You want to do it like that guy from Dark Angel, who's Jessica Alba. The cat dude. Practical effects.
Practical effects, absolutely.
Oh, that's what I do. If I did Turtles, it would be practical effects mixed with a little bit of CGI. Just sad. But yes,
that's a good. I think that's a good. That'll be good. Now, speaking of things that are good, not good, sometimes good, we are getting close to the end of The Last of Us. Now, you guys gave an early grading of it. Now, what do you? Because I remember Jamie was saying to me in the chat. I didn't watch the first episode, but Jamie was like saying, best thing ever, greatest episode, the greatest show.
I said greatest opening.
Now, where do you guys stand on where if you were to rate the season right now out of 1 to 10,
before the final? You don't want to wait till next episode?
No. Again, this is a prediction before we then watch the final.
I'm just in terms of accuracy. Look, the last two, like Left Behind, was spot on. The last episode with the cannibal system, that was 100% spot on. The scene with the fire and that was literally straight out of the game. In my opinion, before seeing the finale, it's either an 8 or a 9 for me, because it's literally, I work a long day on a Monday and I get home from work at like 6 o'clock and I'm like, I don't give a shit. That's the first. I'm sitting down. And I send a message to my friend Steph, and I'm like, you have binge queued up. I want to literally walk in the house, put my stuff down, sit down and watch Last of Us. And that's how it's been every episode. There have been filler, as we know, but in terms of the last 2 episodes have been literally, you could put the game and the episode side by side for quite a few of those scenes, and it's like watching the game come to life.
Jamie?
So yeah, that's 8 to 9 at the moment.
Look, I'd say a 6 or a 7 out of 10.
Okay.
I had a few gripes.
See, I think you and I are the same in terms of the gripes, which is one,
fillers. Too much fillers.
Joel hasn't crafted anything.
Yes.
Joel can't see through walls.
There's been a little bit of kneeling down.
No, Joel can't see through walls and can't, his hearing isn't the most greatest thing of all time. Yeah. And he's killed like 4 people. In the game, killing 4 people is a slow day.
But you must admit, the killing that he has done is quite brutal.
Oh, no.
Especially in the last episode.
Look,
you know what I mean?
They did that scene right.
Yeah.
And honestly, when I watched that scene, I was like, oh, hello, Joel, there you are. There you are, Joel.
And it's the same with Ellie, like when she took on David.
Yeah.
When you got the flames rising up all around, and she just literally lost control, exactly like she did in the game.
Yeah.
And
so I thought
overkill meter just went straight up.
Yeah. And so look, I thought they did that arc well. But I'm gonna rate it based using the IGN scale on a so because now this is my theory on their ratings. Because I like The Mandalorian, there can't be 2 good shows at the same time. So Last of Us is a 3 out of 10. I'm using the IGN system because they gave the recent episode of Mandalorian a 5 for unknown reasons. And my theory is because they believe there can only be one pop culture show at the time that's good, and everyone else must be bad. So then by that logic, I'm gonna have to give The Last of Us a 3 using the IGN rating system.
Or are you saying that there can only be one good Pedro Pascal show
maybe yes, right. There can be only one good Pedro Pascal show at a time. So the other one must be bad by sheer logic. So then, okay, if I pick Mandalorian as my show, then yes, Last of Us is a 3 out of 10 based on the IGN scale.
Mm-hmm.
Now, based on the non-moronic scale, what would you...
Look, honestly,
2. No.
No. Like, honestly, I think about a 7. If it wasn't The Last of Us, and they just done a very similar show story, whatever, I probably would say 8 to even a 9.
Mm-hmm.
But because I had such fond memories of The Last of Us with Joel the psychopath, that that it's
yeah.
I am very picky, but I do like this Joel's a nice, kind, caring Joel. But I like my Joel the stabby using Molotov cocktail throwing.
Always be crafting.
I must say when I heard it's Troy Baker, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. When I heard him speak, on last week's episode.
It was very confusing. It was very confusing.
I got good because it's literally obviously his Joel voice for the game is his normal voice.
Yeah, exactly. It's very confusing.
I heard it and I thought, wow, that there's Joel from the game. You know what I mean? Like that's Joel. Yeah. But yeah, like it was nice of them to put him in. You know, that kind of like he was in that role there. And like there was you know, when you see the body hung up, like when you see that, I was like, yeah, man, like this is the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll dive into it more next week. But
I think it's good to do a bit of I just wanted to do a prediction before the actual ending.
Yeah.
So we can all then see. And
look, if anyone from Binge is listening, please put 4K in your system. We know HBO Max does, so therefore you have the rights to that. Please give us Last of Us in 4K for some of us audio and visual files out there, please.
You'll have to wait till it's available on the high seas.
Mm-hmm. It is but like when you get it from the high seas, transfer rate is not quite as it would be if you were streaming it. So I haven't actually acquired it from the high seas yet. I will have to wait till JB Hi-Fi stock it. But Binge, it's not that fucking hard. Come on.
Yeah. I just realized how random our next episode's going to be.
Why?
Mm-hmm.
Well, on one side, it's going to be us talking about The Last of Us.
Mm-hmm.
On the other side, probably me and Ryan talking about our experience with seeing Weird Al Yankovic live.
Ah, yes.
Yep.
So it's going to be a polar opposite.
Yep.
Unless Joel breaks out into dance at the end of.
Yeah. And wears a Hawaiian shirt in the
Weird Al Yankovic kills a bunch of people at his show.
There you go. That'd be that was if we got the meet and greet. If we got to meet him, I was going to ask him, "How are you such a powerful necromancer?"
How you alive? Exactly. We saw that you died.
You know? Yeah. But if you're at the Sydney show on Wednesday night, please don't come and say hello. I don't like people.
Yeah. If you're at the Sydney show,
go about your business.
Make sure you walk up to Jamie and punch him hard in the testicles because that's how he knows you care.
Apparently, allegedly.
Give him what he likes to call a sack tap.
And if you see Chris anywhere, you have 5 minutes to live. Apparently.
That's a perfect ending to the episode.